WCBI News at 6 starts now.
We're looking live from Blue Springs. Things are quiet right now on I-22, but that could be changing as the night goes on, as North Mississippi and West Alabama brace for a blast of winter weather.
That's right. Governor Haley Ivey, or Kay Ivey, that is, already declaring a state of emergency in Alabama. For more on what we can expect, we turn things over now to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. He has our first look at our forecast.
Well, guys, a quick hit of winter. That's what's coming our way right now. Very spring-like temperatures in the mid and upper 50s. Memphis cooler, though, with a wind chill of 41. We will really get those wind chill values lower later tonight, 20s and teens for the morning commute. Icy spots possible here. Watch those overpasses, especially as we go through later tonight. Right now, pretty nice and quiet, but we still expect the best chance for maybe 1 to 2 inches of snow across the southeastern counties. Not as much northwest of the Natchez Trace, maybe a coating, maybe up to an inch, but better odds southeast of the Trace. Right now, warm enough for all rain. Notice the showers here, Batesville over towards Oxford, Hickory Flat, and Ripley. Still very, very warm. The cold air is lingering a little bit here back into Missouri and Kansas. So initially, this is all going to be rain this evening. Later this evening and tonight, some of that could switch over from this rain to snow. You can see right here, this is our high-res Futurecast forecast model. So we do expect some switch over here later tonight. Rain by 10 o'clock, switching over to some snow later on tonight. By the time you wake up, we should be in the 20s, wind chills 20s and teens, but we are going to have a lot of sunshine tomorrow, guys, back into the 30s, and that should help allow those roads to thaw out just a little bit. Full forecast coming up.
This possible winter weather has the Mississippi Department of Transportation on high alert.
Allie Martin stopped by MDOT's District 1 office in Tupelo and shows us how employees there are getting ready.
As MDOT engineer Matt Dunn was checking weather forecasts, crews were attaching snowplows onto MDOT trucks. The District 1 office in Tupelo serves a 16-county area, and Dunn says everyone will be ready if and when the winter storm hits.
We're preparing for anywhere from icy conditions on the roads to snow-covered roads.
MDOT will respond as information is issued by the National Weather Service. Dunn, along with several colleagues, will work out of this conference room at the District 1 office, keeping in contact with the Emergency Operations Center in Jackson and crews riding the highways. Dunn says one of the most dangerous weather events is known as a flash freeze, and it occurs when temperatures plummet after rainfall. Bridges and overpasses have been known to freeze at the same time across a wide area. That's why MDOT trucks are also equipped with salt spreaders. Each truck carries 6,000 pounds of salt to help provide better traction on the bridges and overpasses. However, Dunn encourages people to stay off of the roads if the deep freeze hits.
It'll be difficult to see icy conditions on the road. Even though you might see a little bit of flurries coming down, there might have been some frozen precipitation before that or during the event, which would cause the possible conditions of slippery bridges and also slippery, shady areas on your roads. So definitely watch out for black ice. Mainly just, I would suggest is drive safely, drive caution. If you don't have to be out, don't be out.
MDOT is also mixing batches of salt and water to create brine. That mixture is sprayed on roadways to help keep frozen precipitation from sticking. In Tupelo, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
And you can keep up with the latest MDOT alerts by going to mdot.ms.gov. We'll also have updates on our website and on Twitter and Facebook.
Columbus and Lowndes County leaders spend the afternoon preparing for Mother Nature's weather whiplash. MDOT has already pre-treated Highway 45 and Highway 82 on the right lanes. County roads will not be salted until crews are made aware of problems there on the roadway. A warming shelter will open at 10 o'clock tonight at the Prost Park Activity Center. Warm beverages and snacks will be provided. It will be open until 10 Tuesday morning.
The region's only homeless shelter is gearing up for the expected cold weather. Tupelo's Salvation Army will open its gym to the homeless and those without any heat. Staff already preparing cots in case the gym is needed as a makeshift shelter. They will be on hand throughout the night and the next day if temperatures dip or if there is that snow.
We need to take care of each other. If you've got neighbors that you know that may not have heat, offer to bring them to us. Or give them a couple extra blankets if they refuse. But I would just hate to think that somebody might freeze to death because they had nowhere to go that was warm.
The new shelter for the Tupelo Salvation Army should be ready by the end of February. It will hold 25 men, 20 women, and will also have 5 family rooms.
Homeless people and those struggling to make ends meet were able to connect with several local service agencies under one roof. Tupelo's All Saints Episcopal Church hosted Project Connect. The event is an extension of the Mississippi Balance of State and Continuum of Care. Its goal is not only to let homeless and low-income people connect with services, but also to give the agencies a chance to meet with each other.
We don't always get a chance to come together and connect and refer to each other. Well, this is a chance not only for those homeless people to come together and connect with services, but it's also a chance for agencies around the room to refer and network with other agencies, because it may be that they know of the local agency and they've heard their name, but they don't know exactly what they do. So this is a chance even for them to go and strike up a conversation to see how can I refer people to you or you can refer people to me.
The event was sponsored by the City of Tupelo Homeless Task Force, Families First of North Mississippi, and the Northeast Mississippi Homeless Coalition.
Well, when the word snow drops in Mississippi and Alabama, grocery stores will know that the crowds are not far behind. Super Value in Winona started preparing over the weekend. The shelves were being stocked before the doors opened this morning. By midday, there were already some empty spots on those shelves. Bread and milk seemed to top the grocery list. But that's not all that you'll see going in those shopping carts.
We had to get 3 extra pallets of water. I know we have to get, we got the bread and eggs and milk in today. We get bread every day, except for Wednesdays. We also had to order extra rock salt for people's driveways, just in case we had to get a jump on that.
And the assistant manager says the store also brings in extra staff to help with the additional traffic in the store.
A Tishomingo man is jailed after he threatens to kill a doctor at the Veterans Clinic in Tupelo. According to a federal affidavit, Edward Stephen McNatt called the VA crisis hotline from his Tishomingo home Friday and told them he planned to travel to the Tupelo clinic on January 30th and kill the doctor. The document says McNatt was recently diagnosed with a terminal illness and blames the illness on delays in getting a neurology consultation from the Tupelo VA clinic. McNatt told federal agents he wanted to kill the doctor to keep other veterans from being hurt.
And a Talley County man will spend 50 years in prison for a brutal Cotton District crime. Jerry Talley Jr. pleaded guilty to kidnapping and sexual battery. Those sentences will run consecutively. Starkville police say in May of 2016, someone broke in a home on Maxwell Street. A female victim was assaulted and raped. A male victim in the house was tied up and put in a closet. Originally, Talley was also charged with robbery and aggravated assault. Terry Hill has already been found guilty in this same case.
Investigators say a man tries to get rid of drugs during a drug bust at a Columbus home. Lowndes County Narcotics Task Force agents say Taekwon Davis tried to flush a large amount of marijuana down the toilet. The bust was a joint operation between the narcotics unit and the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force. In the raid, agents found over 2 pounds of marijuana, over a pound of cocaine, 3 guns, and cash. Davis was wanted by U.S. Marshals. He's facing several charges, including drug possession, drug trafficking, aggravated assault, and eluding police. The street value of the drugs, investigators say, is valued at nearly $65,000.
One area city has had enough of people trashing their roads.
We look at how they're cracking down on litter bugs when we come back.
You're watching WCBI News at 6 with Andrea Self and Joey Barnes.
Welcome back. Littering is a growing problem all across the state, and one city is deciding to do something about it.
Houston aldermen adopted a resolution to help strengthen its litter ordinance, and now it will cost those litter bugs. Our Quentin Smith speaks with residents and city leaders about the issue. He joins us live in the studio with more. Quentin?
Joey, from beer bottles to chip bags to cardboard boxes, anything you can think of, it's probably found its way on the side of the roads in Houston. And as you can imagine, all of the trash is causing quite the eyesore for many of those in the community. Now, residents and city leaders both want it cleaned up right away.
Plastic cups, a Gatorade bottle, and plastic bags are just a few of the items lingering around the roadways in Houston.
In ways, it's terrible around here, though, because it's like piece of boxes and old dirty diapers, and sometimes it's ridiculous, for real.
Seeing trash piled up and scattered throughout his hometown has become a constant and unfriendly sight for Cameron Hoskins.
A lot of them just don't care. I mean, they just ride, and instead of riding the vehicle, they just rather chunk it up.
Hoskins has even tried to clean up some of the trash, but says ultimately there's only so much that one man can do.
I make sure my little surroundings is straight, you know, where I stay at, but you know, you can't clean up the whole street. See what I'm saying? So basically, something needs to be done.
And something is being done. City leaders are now recrafting its ordinance to make littering a misdemeanor. If caught, violators will now be fined. For the first offense, violators will be fined anywhere from $50 to $250. For a second offense, violators will be fined anywhere from $250 to $500. Repeated violations could also result in jail time.
The code enforcement, he sees stuff, he'll come to us the first of every month, and then we'll give them 2 weeks to clean up the order. And then if they don't clean it up in that time, if they need more time, they'll come back to the board.
It currently allows violators to do community service to work off the fine. The ordinance also allows the city to assess costs to clean up the mess to the violator. Houston Mayor Stacey Parker says this is all in an effort to keep the Chickasaw County town clean and beautiful.
Pick up your trash. There's a place for it. You're paying for it. Why not use it? You pay for it every month. And if you're sitting there throwing it in outside and wherever, I mean, you're actually costing the city money because we're having to put more employees out there to pick up your trash.
Now, city leaders have already held one public meeting on this issue. They're now set to vote on the matter at its board meeting next week.
Well, if you are looking for someone to blame or thank for the cold and snow coming later tonight, blame or thank my dad. He was out in town today in Columbus. He's here. He brought the cold air and perhaps the snow with him from Michigan. The full forecast is next.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
All right, friends, we do have some blustery temperatures coming our way for Tuesday. Keep in mind we were in the low 60s today. Tomorrow, 30s. We start out below freezing, some wintry weather possible around sunrise, and then after that we become mostly sunny, but morning wind chill values teens and 20s. A little bit better in the afternoon. So what we have in store for tonight and tomorrow morning is some rain that's beginning to develop now, and it will switch to some snow later on tonight. Possible across the entire viewing area, a coating to the northwest, perhaps a better chance for some sizable totals, if you can call it that, across our southeast from about late this evening to about 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. As we've been talking about, and this forecast has really been consistent for the last couple of days, generally southeast of the trace, the best chance for maybe an inch or two, maybe a little bit more, but generally in that range, and just a coating to maybe an inch or so across the northwest, give or take. And this is what we've been expecting, and this is what I think is probably going to pan out here. So temperatures are very mild, 50s and 60s. We have this front that is coming out through. Notice the rain. Behind it, though, behind the front, it's still not below freezing in Arkansas or Oklahoma City. So it's going to take some time to get that cold air down in here after midnight, most likely, in all spots. The wind, not too bad, but notice how it switches around to the northwest and really starts to pick up here in Little Rock and Oklahoma City. So once the front blows on through, the wind chill will become a problem later tonight. It is not really a problem here. But Oklahoma City, it feels like 25 degrees already, and that's what we have in store as we get into tomorrow morning. Columbus, Tupelo, Vernon, Louisville. You can see that with our Alpha Insurance Camera Network. Louisville, Mississippi, Vernon, Durham's Pharmacy, and again, downtown Tupelo and downtown Columbus at WCBI. We have quiet conditions now, but the rain showers starting to perk on up. And notice, as we go through time, we have the front coming on in here. We also have a little disturbance that will zip on through overhead, and that will instigate more showers around here. So 40s, then some 30s. By 10 o'clock, still all above freezing here, it would appear. After that, all bets are off as we get into the overnight hours as the front continues to move away. The preset moves on through. By 7 o'clock, we're in the 20s, and the rain and snow, or snow at that point, basically done. And then we will start to see improvement sky-wise. The clouds will thin out. Notice how we become mostly sunny during the day. And temperatures are going to be above freezing tomorrow. A low to mid-30s north, mid to upper 30s south, it would appear. So that's why we are expecting some improving conditions as far as the roadways here. Maybe a bit dicey tomorrow morning, but sun, wind, dry air, temperatures above freezing will mitigate any major problems widespread on Tuesday afternoon once we get the system out of here. So maybe a bit problematic later tonight with temperatures falling into the 20s. The rain switches to some snow. You can see mid to low 20s north, upper 20s southeast. But as we get into tomorrow, we start to warm up back above freezing, start to see all that sunshine here. So a quick hit, a quick jab, if you will, of some wintry weather. Chilly tomorrow night, but notice that progression, 50s and 60s by the weekend.
Over 10,000 fans packed the Humphrey Coliseum this weekend to watch Mississippi State and Ole Miss face off. Vic Schaefer talks about the atmosphere coming up next in sports.
Your WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
Some good news comes for the football Bulldogs. Moments ago, Mississippi State has confirmed the hire of new wide receivers coach Michael Johnson. Johnson joins the Bulldogs squad after spending the last 2 years serving as an assistant coach at Oregon. Johnson comes to MSU with history coaching at both the college and national level. Johnson will serve as Luke Getsy's replacement after his departure to rejoin the Green Bay Packers. Rivalry games are known to pull big crowds. For the women's matchup between Ole Miss and Mississippi State, it drew the fourth largest crowd in program history for the Women Dogs. Over 10,300 fans packed the Humphrey Coliseum as the Bulldogs bulldozed over Ole Miss 80-49. Head coach Vic Schaefer always giving credit where credit is due, saying the atmosphere created by the fans is what makes the Hump so special.
I mean, it is just, it's lit in there, it's rocking. Those fans are here to really just support these kids, which they deserve. That's why I get upset with them sometime in the game when I think they're boring everybody. Because when they are engaged, when they are playing defense, when we are getting in transition, the place is, you know, the roof's about to blow off of it. So I'm just really appreciative of our fans, appreciative of all we've done in our administration to make sure we get those folks here. And, you know, look, it's top 5 in the country. You can pick on your hand 5 other places that night in and night out have 8, 9, 10,000 people at a game. And you know what? One of them's Mississippi State.
The Twin States are preparing for a matchup of its own. 22nd-ranked Mississippi State is headed to Tuscaloosa for a matchup to the Crimson Tide. Alabama may be an unranked team, but plenty of times during this season, they haven't exactly looked like it. Against top 25 teams alone, the Tide is 2-1 with wins over Ole Miss and Kentucky. Head coach Avery Johnson saying he expects nothing but some big challenges coming from Mississippi State.
You know, we know that all the small details in every game, but and especially those games against, you know, terrific opponents, you better be ready to play. And whether it's on the road or at home, you know, you can't mess around with teams like this. Lamar Peters can basically win the game by himself, okay? And both of the Witherspoon brothers, you know, we have enough video evidence to understand how good this team is. So I just think we better have an elevated high level of concentration and focus and energy and hustle and teamwork to give ourselves a chance to be successful.
Well, here's a quick look at the AP Top 25 poll. Mississippi State men staying at number 22. The women, they go up 1 to number 6, and Ole Miss drops out of that entirely from the AP Top 25. Here are this week's upcoming game. Mississippi State at Alabama tomorrow night. Ole Miss playing at Florida following that, and then Mississippi State, the women will be playing LSU on the road, and Ole Miss faces Auburn when February gets started. That's it for sports. Your last look is coming up after the break. Stick with us.
Rain to snow later tonight. Wind chills will be a problem tomorrow morning, but the sun will come out by mid-morning tomorrow. So this is going to be an overnight event. There could be some slippery spots for the morning commute. So just stay with us here later tonight for the update. And of course, tune in to Sunrise tomorrow at 4:30. The closings on our website, all that stuff you need to know there. But warming by the weekend.
I'm setting my alarm to watch the snow fall. I wanna
Get up
see
early
it.
if you want to see
I'm
it.
going to do it, yeah, I am.
Good luck with that. Good night, everybody.